Hey there, Rachel.
Hi, Miller. How are you?
I am amazing. So I got some feedback. I got some feedback the other day, so I'm going to read this so that we all have our assets covered.
Cover my asset, please.
I'm going to cover your assets.
The views of my assets hanging out.
Now, the views and thoughts and opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of any organizations, companies, or individuals they may or may not be associated with. This podcast is for informational entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. While we strive for accuracy, we make no representations as to the completeness and the reliability of any information shared, any actions taken based on the content of the podcast are at the listener's own discretion.
What?
Now, I'm good with
I kind of feel like my assets are hanging out a little more now.
I kind of feel like they are. Mine are too. So, Rachel, you and I have been talking, and I was able to get a friend of mine in here. And as soon as I can hit this other button, I can bring him in. This is Fred Clark.
Hi, Fred Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good, thank you.
Fred is Fred. I'll let you tell you a little bit about yourself, but I've known Fred for the better part of 8 or 9 years. He's down there in Lake Isabella. He does a bunch of stuff down there with the community with the fireworks display down there, like I do up here. And we kind of in the same kind of circles in just different areas. But yeah, that's kind of how we roll. But Fred, if you can introduce yourself and the who, what, when, why, where, how, and we even probably have a few dozen or so questions for you.
We didn't give him the questions ahead of time, huh?
Oh, I did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I didn't remember if I did or not.
And I looked at him and went, yeah, right. Oh.
That's probably the best way to do it.
Remember, Fred, that we're not professionals, so nobody should take us seriously anyways. This is strictly for entertainment purposes.
Clearly, you've added me into that realm, so I appreciate it. But obviously, my name is Fred Clark. I am an insurance agent up here in the Kern River Valley. Been doing this lovely job since November of 2016, and boy, have things changed over the last eight or so years. But we just try to spend most of our time being the information gurus for whether they're our clients or not. We're just here to help. That's what we do.
And Fred, as we all know, we've been, I'm going to use the word plagued by wildfires over the last, I don't know what, 3 or 4 years, or most recently down in Los Angeles area. But even last summer, we had a bunch of fires over in the KRV. And I know enough about insurance to be dangerous. And when Rachel and I have been talking, we're like, we got to get someone who knows their assets better than we do, because we know enough to be dangerous, but both of us, Rachel down in Ventura County and I'm up here in Kern County.
Yep.
We know enough to be dangerous, and we both like to keep the people that know their information, the aces in their places. And that's where you come in. Is there's so many changes with insurance. There's things that only affect California. Yeah. It's just you could probably talk for hours and hours and hours on all the different things that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, most likely, I think one of the first questions we have is, and this is probably a loaded question, but how do the recent wildfires, how has that changed the way insurance companies approach homeowners policies in California or in Ventura County, or is it all the same, or does it change? Did you hear my dog bark and jump out of my skin?
Sorry, I just thought he was chasing me.
Yeah, kind of did.
And to be honest, I don't know that the recent wildfires have affected anything yet, because there's a number of things that have to take place for carriers to change the way they do business. And it's going to be one of those things where the future is a little bit unknown. I don't know that the carriers can get much more restrictive than they already are. What's affected us recently, we're truly not going to see the impact of that for probably another 6 to 12 months. That's when,
wow.
Well, because these carriers are going to go through and start writing new guidelines, start changing the rules just a little bit. And then they in turn need to get those submitted to the Department of Insurance before they can just implement them. They can't just arbitrarily change the game today and say this is law.
Now, I saw something, and I don't remember who it was. Somebody wants to do a rate increase that they just submitted over to the Department of Insurance.
You're correct. I read that yesterday.
Yeah, and I was like, And when I read that, I'm like, wait, haven't they been collecting monies for decades and with not having to pay out on some of those? But yet they want to, because of this fire, they want to do that. I mean, again, I'm way out of my own.
I don't know if the numbers are completely true, because you got to forgive me. I'm probably reading the same thing that you are. But out of the 12,000 plus homes that were lost in the Southern California fires, there was a statement that said that just over 8,000 of those were with that one single carrier. I have a hard time believing it to be that large. If that was the case, I understand why they're going, you know what? We need a 22% rate increase today, or things are going to get really ugly really fast. But I will tell you openly, the Department of Insurance does not work that quickly. Most carriers will submit for a rate increase, and it'll take them 6 to 9 months to negotiate a number.
Wow. Yeah,
Fred, it's become increasingly more difficult for people in my area, buyers and homeowners in my area.
Yep.
Homeowners are losing their homeowners insurance or their fire coverage.
Yep.
Buyers need it if they're using a lender.
Absolutely.
That's slowing things down in a lot of areas, especially with HOAs.
Yep.
So what can current homeowners, can they do to ensure that they have enough coverage? I mean, there's things that we can do, but when we can't find the coverage, when insurance companies are dropping homeowners or not participating in helping buyers insure their homes, it's like catch-22. Do you have any advice for current homeowners and for buyers?
It's critical that anyone that is paying for insurance understands what it is they're paying for. The best way I can describe that is you have a number of people who will pick up a phone and call the major carriers to a general call center, and that call center is going to go, oh, well, your home should be worth this to rebuild, and here's your number for us to give you that policy, and you like it, great. Here's your electronic signature. Give us our money. We're gone. Doesn't mean you've got the right level of coverage on any of the aspect of it, because most people don't understand what they're looking at. There are fewer and fewer insurance agents like myself and the girls in my office who sit down and go through a policy line item by line item with individuals. 2/3 of them are grateful that we're doing that, so they understand what it is they have and what they don't have. The other third of them are going, well, I don't care. You know what you're doing. Just because they think we know what we're doing doesn't mean we're doing it right either. Because if we don't get all the correct information from you, we're going to be doing it wrong. And you're the one that's going to pay for it if something bad happens.
Fred, when you say like correct information, like if somebody, I'm making this up obviously, but someone has a, someone has a house built in 1964
Mm-hmm.
And then they did a massive update or upgrade in 2022. So if that upgrade is not included in the policy, the elusive they would be looking at the house built in whatever year I said, 1966, or whatever I just said.
Correct. Whatever. I mean, you could turn around and say, yeah, I've upgraded my kitchen. Okay, what's that mean? You put in a new Formica countertop, or you laid out granite and you have everything going all over. Details mean everything. If the details we are provided are incorrect, what we're doing is going to be incorrect. A lot of people don't want to give us those details because they think, oh God, it's going to cost me more. It might a little, but do you want me to think you have a roof that's from 1962 and now I can't insure you at all?
So they're, if you will, they're tripping over dollars to pick up pennies.
Oh, absolutely. All day long.
That's a good one.
I will tell you openly, we have a number of people who I will approach straightforward and say, look, I need you to think of something hypothetically. Your house is gone tomorrow. What's it going to cost you to replace everything that's inside your home? I'm talking bedding, linens, chonies, all your clothing, furniture, the whole deal. They look at me dumbfounded and go, you got to be kidding. So, no, you're asking me to come up with a number for you, and I don't know what's inside your home. And that puts it back into their court to really think about this a little bit.
Fred, I haven't heard it in a long time, but I used to hear to walk around your house with a video camera and open everything up and video everything. Is that still something? Is that still a thing?
I tell people to do that, whoever takes the time to sit in front of me. Because I use the example of like the fire that we just had in July over the Borel fire. Mm-hmm. I have a handful of clients who lost their homes over there, and they're fighting to struggle to do an itemized list of what was in their homes. And one of them who I speak with regularly, she comes in and she just looks at me and smiles and she goes, no, I still don't have any damn pictures and I can't think about what I was supposed to do. And I'm dumbfounded by it. I said, then do me a favor. When you get home at night, sit on your couch, close your eyes, think of just a living room. What did you have in your living room that you can remember? Jot it down. Think of just a kitchen, just a bathroom, and walk the process. Because if you don't have something to use as reference, I guarantee you're going to miss 50% of what was in your home.
That may be a time for even social media, is being that, I don't want to say all, but most people have a camera phone. So when someone's there for the holidays or for a birthday party, people are taking pictures. So go back and look at social media pictures to see, oh, I forgot that I had the Rembrandt on the wall. I'm kidding. You didn't have a Rembrandt, but that type of formula.
Well, I'll tell you openly, for me personally, I have all of my stuff on flash drives. It's still photography. I don't do video. I just still each wall, different things, different areas, inside garages, so on. And then I have two separate flash drives. One of them is inside the gun safe. The other one's inside the safety deposit box. Because odds are there's a chance if the house goes up in flames and it cooks really well, what's inside the insulated gun safe isn't going to be usable.
Right. And I hear it again all the time is, well, like you just said, you have it there in the gun safe. However, I'm hoping that you also have one in your desk at your office, and having it off-site. That smile tells me everything. Is don't store. I mean, yes, you can store it at your house. However, if there's a major catastrophe, let's not have it there. Let's have it off-site. Let's have it at the office. Let's have it at your buddies in Arkansas's house. Unless he gets hit by a tornado. Right. That's bad.
And then it's going to be in New York.
Right.
So, Fred, what factors most significantly affect premium costs in a high-risk fire zone?
Well, my entire valley where I live is a high-risk fire zone. The first thing that's going to dictate rate, number one, is your fire line score, which ranges from 0 to 15. Those numbers are mostly derived from CAL FIRE and the Department of Insurance, who put these numbers together.
Is that number available to the that information available to the general public, Fred?
I know the CAL FIRE maps are. I don't know about the fire line score itself.
I use the CAL FIRE map when I'm searching for homes for my buyers. All our buyers out here, that's a big concern for them. So you can literally put in the address of the home that you're looking at, and it'll tell you whether or not it is considered in a high fire zone. Sadly, mostly everything out here in Thousand Oaks lands in like red.
Well, I will tell you that where my personal home is at, 2 years ago, I had a fire line score of a 3, which isn't all that bad. 0 to 4 seems to be the magic threshold for a lot of these carriers. When CAL FIRE redrew our fire lines up here, I went from a 3 to an 8.
Yeah.
So now nobody wants to touch me.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. Same.
Just the opinion of where you live.
Yeah, it's just them redrawing fire line scores. And it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to, excuse the term, suck it up and deal with it. And that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that drives rate, fire line scores, is one key factor. The thing that's going to really drive it is going to be proximity to brush or proximity to steep slope. If you're at the top of a hill and you're looking at a nice, beautiful, wide open, grand view with your 200 acres of straight down slope coming up to your house, I promise you your fire line score is probably going to stink. And you're going to pay for it.
So when that happens, and again, I've done some, I'm going to say some very minor due diligence on this, and that's another reason why when Rachel and I were talking last week, I'm like, we got to get an insurance guy on here. I just totally drew a blank what it's called. All I can think is CAL FIRE now. What's it called? The public fire insurance.
California Fair Plan.
Thank you. The California Fair Plan. Can you give us like the 1,000-foot view of who, what, when, why, where, how?
Well, I mean, we write a lot of California Fair Plan up here. And in the very beginning, I used to call it the California Unfair Plan because it doesn't cover a lot, but it costs a lot. But the more that I work with their internal teams and understand what they have, what they offer, and what they can give us, you know what? It's a heck of a lot better than nothing. The thing that is very different with the California Fair Plan than a standard, HO3. Standard
What's HO3?
policy. Sorry?
What's HO3?
It's a standard homeowner policy.
Okay.
So if you wrote, whatever major carrier and you utilized your nice, big, beautiful home and you had a standard homeowner policy, you're probably going to have more coverage than you could ever possibly need when it comes to personal contents and liabilities and water-related losses and thefts and anything else. And you're going to be covered all the way around in ways that you're beyond protected. It's just a good nest egg to have. The problem with having a California Fair Plan is if the person writing the California Fair Plan does not know what they are doing, odds are you're going to be underinsured. Because I've actually heard of some people telling me, well, the guy went on to Zillow and Zillow said that my price is worth this, so that's how much they wrote my policy for. Well, forgive me, but I don't give a damn what Zillow says because that has nothing to do with the reconstruction of your home. It happens all the time. And I'm not knocking people that do that because maybe they haven't been trained otherwise. Right. We were lucky enough that in the beginning, we did a lot of side courses and side studying and spoke with a lot of people within the Fair Plan and were able to learn some of the ins and outs of the do's and the don'ts, especially. So we do a lot of homework here. Rachel, if you owned your home outright and said, look, I don't care that my home is $1 million to rebuild. I only want to insure it for half of that number. We're going to write it based on what you said, but at the same token, I'm going to have you sign a document that states that you understand you are seriously underinsured. And when things go really wrong, you can't turn around and sue my backside off.
Right.
Because when you're underinsured, that whole process is not going to go good for you. It's going to be a very hostile discussion with claims because they're going to do everything by the book, and you're going to expect more than what the book is going to provide. So,
Fred,
yes,
you just kind of, I don't know what the word is again, but my understanding of the FAIR plan is it was kind of a pick this box for 100,000, this box for 200,000, this box for 300,000, and didn't really go into much detail. It sounds like I'm wrong on that.
You are. And let's pretend the home behind Rachel, use as an example. Let's say we go through on our end in our office, we're going to do a reconstruction cost estimator on that home. If it tells me the reconstruction cost is 1.21, we're going to start with that 1.21 number for the home itself. We're going to add extended replacement costs if it's within the guidelines that allow us to do that. We're going to make sure that you've got loss of use, meaning God forbid you lose the home, you get displaced, you've got some money to live, you got money to pay rent. It is not the same as a standard homeowner policy. Homeowner policy gives you additional funds. Fair plan gives you basically enough for rents, period. Everything else is still on you. But that's when we start nitpicking the policy is, what do you have for contents? Are you going to rebuild? If you have no intention of rebuilding, let's not waste the time and have building code upgrades. Let's just make sure we got debris removal. So we only put on there what you want. If you're wanting all of it, we're going to list everything. And then you're going to pay a premium based on whatever that fire line score is by region and so forth. But it's just a very, very open and honest conversation that's got to take place with anybody that's on the FAIR plan, because otherwise the policy that's written is going to be short or lacking somewhere.
Feedback that I've received and anecdotally stories from my clients and from friends and family is they've lost their homeowner's insurance coverage, so they have to go with California Care Plan, and that plan is really expensive.
It can be. I will tell you openly, I write some homes that are, and you got to realize for us, a standard homeowner policy with the FAIR plan for just the home itself, $2,000 to $4,000 a year is pretty average. Okay. I've got one person paying as much as $28,000 a year for just a FAIR plan.
And that's just fire, correct?
Fire, vandalism, malicious mischief, wind, and hail. That's it.
Okay.
No water, no theft, no liability are the other primaries for your wraparound policy.
So with the FAIR plan, that covers everything you just mentioned. Then you have to have a separate plan to cover.
Correct. The legal term is a difference in conditions. We call it a REP.
Okay.
And I will tell you the shortfalls of the REP. They limit you on water loss. They limit you on theft. And I've seen some water claims that are pretty ugly. I mean, I've seen 2 in the last couple of years that are over 100,000. And most of these RAP policies will cap you out at a $10,000 water loss.
So I'm going to digress a little bit, and this is what it sounds like, and I think I'm pretty much right. If John Q, homeowner, reaches out to online person without talking to someone like yourself, they, in all likelihood, may or may not, but I'm going to say in all likelihood, are going to get hosed because they're not going to have the information and data. I said that.
I understand. I mean, I don't know that they're going to get, let's say, hosed, but I do believe that they are going to have a number of shortcomings on items should they have a total loss. I will tell you that the bulk of the policies I've seen written have been done properly.
Okay, good.
But I will also tell you I've seen a number of them that have made us go, oh boy, you need to come in here and sit down. But I'll tell people openly, I'm not interested in writing the policy for you. But at least give me a few minutes to give you the right information so you can go back to who did write it and get it changed so you're protected.
So, Fred, in the last couple of minutes here, if someone wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way to do it? And I've tried to figure out how to put things on the screen. Every time I do, I end up clicking everybody off. So,
we should add. We'll tell it, and then we'll add it in the text when we post.
No problem.
Yes, we'll do that. But if someone wins somebody,
what I tell everyone, and you're going to tell me I'm crazy, but my email address is very corny because I got tired of the corporate one, so I started a personal one, which is just fredclarkinsurance@gmail.com. That's the easiest one.
What insurance company, Fred?
I'm sorry?
What insurance company are you with?
I am a agent for one of the major carriers. And okay. We also have what's called KRV Insurance, which is a DBA that I work under up here in Lake Isabella.
Okay.
But, my office number is 760-379-5641, except everybody in this valley has my cell phone. So they tend to use that at all hours of the day.
I think it's on your on your website, Fred.
It is. It's on my answering machine too, saying if you need me, call me. Last time I checked,
anytime, day or night.
5.
Fred, you're actually working with one of my customers right now. They had some ridiculous quote from some guy in LA. So you're dealing with Bigfoot and one of his customers on one of my properties. And yes, basically.
When Bigfoot first came out, I had a lot of hope for them up here.
Right.
I really thought they were going to be it. Boy, was I wrong. It backfired on us quite heavily, unfortunately.
Right.
They got a great model. It just isn't there sometimes. That's all.
Right. I get it. So you can be reached again at
760-379
5641 or fredclarkinsurance@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
Perfect. Fred, I really appreciate you taking the time today. And I will send you over the link for this. And with that, we will end that here. And you have so much information. We literally could probably spend hours doing this. And one of us would end up having to drink a lot of water, probably be me.
And Fred, really quick, if somebody from my area was looking for an insurance agent, you would be able to service from there to here, right? All of California?
Yep. I work with a gentleman out of Sherman Oaks who's an agent down there, and he has a heck of a time with all of his customers in the Hollywood Hills, Studio City, all of that. So anything they need in California, I'll be glad to assist.
Great.
Even if we can't write it for them and we point them in the right direction, at least they can get something done.
Great. Good to know. Great.
Fred, thank you very much. And we will bid you adieu. And we're trying to do a couple more things with some home prices here in Thousand Oaks and Ridgecrest and even Lake Isabella.
Well, if you guys ever need anything or need me again, just let me know. I'll be glad to help.
Thanks, Fred.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Nice to meet you.
Have a great day.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
That was really eye-opening.
Very entertaining and not professional at all.
No. That was very eye-opening. I don't even know what to say right now. That was.
Do you have your market report? I don't have mine today, but I feel like it might look the same as last week.
Actually, I do, and I'm trying to open it right now because I'm cool like that.
We'll do it quick.
I'm trying.
No pressure.
no pressure. Obviously no pressure. Move this over here. I'll move this over here. And I think this is opening. Oh, look at that. It's even your area, Rachel. And I'm going to go here and share my screen over there. There. Thousand Oaks.
Oh, here we go.
It has my name on it, but that's okay. It's actually, I can't change it or cover it so I can't see it.
I see how you are.
Right? So there's your Thousand Oaks area.
Mm. Yeah, it looks about the same as last week.
Well,
15 new listings in the last 5 days.
Yeah, 1.2 down, almost 21% though. That's interesting. From January to February. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see what mine says.
What's yours?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it now. Click. Still in there? Oh, I also did Simi Valley for you too.
For me?
Cool. Yeah, because I'm cool like that. See how nice I am? Say yes.
Yes, so cool.
Yeah, see? Look at Simi Valley. That's also, again, interesting. It's a little different.
Up a little bit, up by 1.8%.
Yeah.
Prices are up just a tiny bit. So Simi Valley's sliding up a little bit.
Yeah.
Days on market is going down. So that's actually a good thing.
Almost, does that say 25? It does say 25%. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great number. I love that.
That's very good.
Yeah. So
you have a listing in Simi right now? You don't have a listing, do you?
Not in Simi. I do not.
Simi.
But let's go look at this one. And hit this button over here. And this, I got to get better at this. Click, share.
It's a lot to do.
Yes, look at that. There's for Ridgecrest, median 315,000 compared to your 1.2 million. We have 69 active listings, 10 listings in the last 5 days. And
very nice.
Last week, I think it was only 5. Our days on market, that's a strong number, 46 days on market. That's a really strong number. I would like that to be your number. Can we trade, please? I would really like to trade. And because we had Fred on here, I also did
Lake Isabella.
I think. Yep, I did Lake Isabella too, because Lake Isabella is. I've heard people say different things, but it's. I like Lake Isabella. $235,000 is the median price range. 35 listings. I have 3. There's 3 listings down there. One of those is not mine. And days on market is 85 days on market in Lake Isabella. And that's going down. Obviously, it's almost 6% less than it was last in January.
Mm-hmm.
So things are definitely changing. I think it's
always changing.
Well, yeah.
Forever changing.
Yes. So, and doesn't mean anything, but that you and I, we had an opportunity to actually have lunch last week.
Yes, we did.
Went down and had lunch with some other friends down there and hung out and did let's talk real estate. I'm sure our waiter really appreciated that the whole time. But so anyway, I think we will go ahead and end this here. We got really close to 20 minutes, but a little more because it was good information.
Really good. We're going to wrap.
We are going to wrap. I will see you this time next week. Yeah. And with that, I thought I was going to have a goodbye on here. Maybe I will. Wait, can I play? Wait, I can do this. Right? Got that going. And I think I even have
now we've entered the entertainment portion.
Right?
Okay, bye.
Bye, Rachel.